Brian, number 4.
So, number 4. So now we're getting into the realm of some of the past champions here, and we have Jason Khalipa, the California Bear. So he was obviously the champion in 2008. He also had a second-place finish quite a bit later on in his career, and a third-place finish. Those were in 2013 and 2014. So he's proved a little bit of longevity there. The other years that he competed at the game, he was 5th. At the games, he was 5th, 16th, 7th, and 5th. So he has 6 places inside the top 7, 5 inside the top 5, 3 on the podium, with a kind of an outlier of a 16th place in his worst season. He's one of the guys that comes in tied for 4th in the all-time events wins at the games with 6. That's tying him with Brent Fikowski and Chris Spieler. Chris Spieler is the only guy up there that is not inside the top 10 on my overall rankings. And, Jason's one of those guys that he transformed himself as his career went on and made himself relevant in some of the longer endurance events, despite being a pretty big guy in the field. He, in some capacities, he's a dominant force, but in other ways, he was just this guy that was always there. He was always in the mix on events and in the competition, and he stayed strong throughout the course of the weekend, usually moving up a little bit as the weekend wore on. I think when people think back to 2014, they always think, oh, that was Matt's first year, that was Rich's last year, and you just don't realize that Khalipa was right there against a really good field, finishing 3rd. I mean, he beat that year. Bridges, Panchik, Hackenbrook, Ben Smith, Noah Olson were the next 5 guys, and he was ahead of all of them. So Jason Khalipa, to me, is still a legend of the sport. He still deserves a spot up here in the top 5, and he just happens to come in at 4th. He's been to the game 7 times, 3 times on the podium, and nothing worse than 16th.
I'd also like to say, maybe you said this and I wasn't listening, but is he the only guy as a rookie outside of the first year of the CrossFit Games to come in as a rookie and win the CrossFit Games?
It happened the first 3 years for the men. So Mikko Salo also did it.
Okay. I know who number 3 is. I'd love to take a guess before you reveal it. Do you have a guess, Hobart?
I don't think Khalipa beats out Vellner, but I like Jason. What his involvement was in the sport, but number 3, I don't know. Ben
Why don't
Smith.
you think? Yeah, I'm thinking Ben Smith too. Wait, why do you? I think Khalipa beats out Vellner. I think Vellner is. I mean, Khalipa has a lot of years in there, a lot of time to build data points.
He does have a lot of time to build data points and a lot of years in there. I think high performance in the games now is way more relevant than in past years, just because of the depth of the field. And I don't want to like you said, Brian, I don't want to discredit Jason because he did massive things for the sport itself and his longevity and his consistency. So, but I don't know. I think.
No, I mean, look, I'm very
Does
much.
that change your criteria, Brian? Like whether you won in 2009 or whether you won in 2020?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I don't think we've talked about it yet, but I do consider the years in which if you only had 4 years of competition, they were 2009 to 2013, and they were the exact same performances as 2014 to 2018. I'd take the 2014 to 2018, just because I think the field's continuing to get stronger and deeper. I have every confidence that that after this season, at least Vellner will jump Khalipa on this list for me. I just feel like he needs to prove to me that the last 2 years were in fact a fluke, and that if he does that this year, then I can say with certainty that his fitness never went anywhere, the formats and circumstances changed, but he is that guy. And like I said, I think there's a very high likelihood Vellner rises all the way to number 3 on this list after this season.
Okay. I'm going to do it, Sevan. Brian, I agree with you on that one.
Woo!
There we go.
And most notably from just being on the ground there with Khalipa was the fact of, I think you mentioned, what he did in the endurance events. The fact that he was able to not just be the big, strong guy out there, but to win endurance events and to really put the pressure on. And someone called him, I don't know who did, but the California Bear. I mean, man, at that row that year, he was something else. And what was the event where he peed himself after the event? It had a run in it. It was the one that I think even Rich walked in. What event was that? It was
Triple
in Madison.
Threes.
Yeah, I mean, Khalipa is so impressive.
That was Carson. That wasn't Carson.
What did I say? Yeah, Carson.
Madison.
Yeah, you're right.
And
Sorry,
he definitely has the best arms in the history of the CrossFit Games. Nobody beats him on that shit. James Hobart's CrossFit bodies list, he wins arms.
Triceps, biceps, shoulders, the
Look
whole
at
thing.
his arm is bigger than you, Sevan.
It is. That is true.
You know what I think was one of the most impressive individual events Jason ever competed in was Naughty Nancy, where he took third place behind Bridges, who just annihilated that, and Froning. And really, it was a great event because that was a pretty demanding weight for the overhead squats, but it was also a long run, and Jason hung right up there with Rich ahead of everyone else in the field, and that's a good testament to what you're talking about, Sevan.